Myanmar's first free multi-party general election in decades is around the corner. But can it finally bring peace to a country scarred by ethnic insurgencies, political repression and bitter religious divisions? Hello, I'm Taimur Nabili. This is Between the Lines. Now, after more than 2 years of negotiations, Myanmar's government and 8 armed groups have finally signed a peace agreement that happened last week. It's a deal the government claims will end the world's longest-running civil conflict. President Thein Sein described it as historic, even though 7 of the 15 groups invited rejected to sign the agreement, even as Beijing was accused of pressuring some groups not to sign. So with much military tension still evident in some parts of the country, questions are being asked about the impact on what promises to be a pivotal political event for the country. Now, Myanmar's last truly free poll was as long ago as 1990. Despite winning in a landslide, the Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi was never allowed to take power then. And now, with her National League for Democracy expected to dominate this poll as well, the nagging memories of 1990 haven't entirely been erased. Religious frictions, democratic and constitutional problems and concerns about voting irregularities are still rife. So will this poll also prove historic for the wrong reasons? Or can Myanmar finally emerge from its long military-imposed isolation? To discuss, I'm joined today from Yangon by Dr. Minzo U, Director of Ceasefire Negotiation and Implementation at the Myanmar Peace Center. Here in Singapore, Dr. Tin Maung Maung Tan is visiting Senior Fellow at the ICS Yusof Ishak Institute. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Minzo, let me begin with you, if I might. The mood on the ground as we get closer to the election. We've had ups and downs, talk of potential cancellation, floods, natural disasters, all sorts of potential problems. But how's the sentiment at the moment?
In terms of the election, affected by the existing conflict is quite minimal because the UEC, the Union Election Commission, when they announced the area that cannot be held the election because of the security issue is pretty much only in Kachin, Karen, Bago, Shan state. So all over the country, I will say less than 2% of the voting population is affected.
Affected by what in particular are you saying?
In terms of the security issues.
Okay.
So the security issues affected barely on the viability of the voting stations to be set up nationwide.
Well, I'm just looking at some comments from the People's Alliance for Credible Elections. They're saying there are a range of problems. The voter list display program, let's consider that for a minute. The voter lists were displayed. Voters were supposed to confirm their presence and correct identification on those lists. Only about 30% of them turned up, I think. According to this Council for Credible Elections, the Alliance for Credible Elections, about 25% of the names on the list are not right.
Yes, when we talk about that issues, one of the good intention of the voter registration is to minimize fraud. But when they really implement the actual registration, there were some inaccuracies. So there was a first round. The UEC tried to correct that, and they tried to include as many as possible. So they reduced the actual number of people who were excluded. In the second round, even though they were able to increase the number of people to be included in the voting list, those included in the list have like an inaccurate names, inaccurate sex, inaccurate parents and addresses. So for the reason, like a UEC announced that whoever listed in the voting list, just bring the household list and the ID code. Then they would disregard the other incorrect information that they were allowed to vote.
Dr. Tin, I mean, I bring this up because